Welcome to Biotechnology 1. This course is based off of the base um, exam produced by Biotechnology. The textbook that is used is the Biotechnology Lab Guide by BioRad. My name is Amber Duran, and I will be presenting this information to you throughout this course. So, what is the overall goal of this course? And that is to help students describe the scope and purpose of biotechnology industry, including historical context, interdisciplinary nature, and key tools and techniques in order to understand how biotechnology is applied to solve real-world problems in fields such as medicine, agriculture, and forensics. So, what is biotechnology? Biotechnology is something that is very hard to define because it is always morphing and changing into something more than what it currently is. And different countries define it in different ways. But in the simplest terms, it is technology based on biology and living science. So we can see ancient biotechnology, and biotechnology has been used for thousands of years. And we can see this in making yogurt, bread, wine, beer, producing better crops, breeding more competent livestock. But nowadays, we have shifted, and we can see modern biotechnology still uses and makes those things, but there is more complex biotech. So tools like DNA and microbes are used to produce new products for societies. So, what makes biotechnology a unique science? Well, it is not just one discipline science, it combines many different disciplines in science. So, we have biological science, where we look at genetics, microbiology, and cell biology, while we also incorporate other fields like engineering, IT, chemistry, and physics. Um, and these are used together to produce these new products. So, the overall goal of biotechnology is focused on creating useful products and processes, and it's not just for science. So, it's not just research for the sake of research, it's for solving real world problems. My favorite example to talk about is producing biofuels. So we can use biofuels instead of fossil fuels. We can also produce human insulin through E. coli bacteria. So biotechnology fuels economy by creating products that we use every day. So, what are some tools that we use to create these products and solve these problems? So, tools can be biological, they can be chemical, they can be instrumental, and they can be software based. So, biotechnology uses things found in nature. So, our biological tools include DNA, RNA, proteins, and whole cells. Scientists modify them to do new jobs, like putting human insulin gene and inserting that into bacteria, so that bacteria then makes our insulin, and then it is processed um, and given to patients to control their type 1 diabetes. This process of creating human insulin is called genetic engineering. So, quickly, genetic engineering uses enzymes to cut and reattach DNA. So DNA from one organism is cut and attached to another organism, and that creates a recombinant protein, so proteins made by that other organism. And we can see this in production of medication. So insulin for diabetes, human growth hormone, and there's a couple of others that are produced this way as well. Chemical tools can help purify and study these biomolecules, so we can take chromatography resins and separate out proteins like insulin from these cell mixtures to make sure that this insulin is pure and safe for human consumption. So it helps the pharmaceutical companies regulate their product. Then we have our lab instruments. So these instruments help measure or perform processes. So our spectrophotometers measure light to quantify DNA, proteins, and cells. They can also use thermocyclers to copy DNA by heating and cooling DNA strands. And this PCR is used in forensics and medical diagnosis. And the last little point I want to leave you with is biotech is always improving. Biotechs are constantly being upgraded, updated. New tools are always being made and created for new ways to solve these global problems, as we saw with the mRNA vaccines. Um, these biotechnology tools are helpful in medicine, agriculture, forensics, and many more fields. We will get into different industries that use these fields in our next lesson. I will see you then.